welcome to Good Day Chicago on our 9 o'clock hour, everybody. Happy Orange Friday.
You know, dressing the part.
We went for the suited and booted male and female version, today. Here's a look at some of the things that we have coming up for you.
We're just 2 days away from a big-time playoff game right here in Chicago. Roseanne is talking to fans about the big matchup between the Bears and Rams. We're also talking to a very special expert about the rivalry through the decades.
I love one of the guys he interviewed early this morning said he was yelling at the TV, and he said, like they can hear me.
Right.
But we all do it, right?
It's an experience.
Plus, the Bears are continuing to uplift organizations throughout Chicago this morning. We're talking to one nonprofit who just received a massive grant from the Monsters of Dominion.
They're always doing wonderful things on and off the field, and not to be dramatic, but we are bringing drama to Good Day Chicago. The duo joining us in studio to talk about their new album and their big show at the Salt Shed.
Forward to that, but Kaylin, that snow has been coming down and coming down hard. This is a look outside at somebody's still getting in a run out there, even in the midst of the snow. When you got to get it in, you got to get it in, Caitlin. But it's definitely cold out there. And how long is this snow going to be sticking with us?
We have the chance for snow through today and this weekend. This is the first round, though, so we're going to have a bit of a lull later this morning into the early part of the afternoon before the second round of some scattered light snow moves in. Right now, though, we do have moderate snowfall coming down, especially southeast of Chicago. I'm talking about northwest Indiana, portions of eastern Will County, also north of the city, portions of Lake County, McHenry County getting in on some more moderate snowfall, which you can see behind me now. So we are going to have the potential for slick roads, not only this morning, but as mentioned again this afternoon, we could see quick drops in visibility. But luckily, we're not expecting much for accumulation. Speaking of visibility, right now in Merrillville, 1.4 miles, 1.5 from Chicago Heights to Midway, 1.6 in Woodstock. That's where the snow is falling, so take it easy out there. Temperatures, they're actually not too bad. 27 degrees currently from the lakefront to 28 at Midway, 31 in Joliet, and 27 in Waukegan. Temperatures today are going to be pushing into the 30s, 35 degrees expected at 12, so lunchtime hour, mid-30s. I wish it was going to be in the 50s. Unfortunately, that chance for snow, as mentioned, is going to be holding on all the way through until about 9 or 10. And then tonight, it's going to get cold. Temperatures dropping down into the teens. And then tomorrow, we are going to have that cold air with highs right around 20. And you can see we have the potential for scattered snow, not only on Saturday, but also for our Bears game day. So our 7-day outlook, temperatures are going to be right around 21 degrees as our high on Sunday, dropping down to 4 Sunday night. So for the game, it is going to be brutally cold. And as mentioned, you could see some snow around. Temperatures to start off next week, 9, and then we're slowly warming back to the 20s and the 30s. So looking at 20 degrees Tuesday, Wednesday around freezing, and then 24 expected Thursday. Back to you.
Pumped up all week for this big game between the Bears and Rams on Sunday.
We're riding high off some momentum here. Roseanne has been out all morning talking to fans ahead of the game. Roseanne, you're all bundled up, but still beaming like the sun.
Yes, well, you know what? Everybody is used to being bundled up at those Bears games. But even home on the couch, they're thinking about how this might be a real challenge for the Rams, this cold weather that we're a little bit more used to here. So you may notice I'm wearing my bling today. The Bears Monster Squad has been out all week around the city trying to get people revved up, although they don't have to work hard. But they were handing out bling, and the Leo High School Choir was performing at Union Station. That was Monday. Yesterday, of course, we had the ice sculpture unveiled of Caleb Williams outside the Merchandise Mart. And today, fans are all talking about their favorite players. Caleb, of course, number one on the list. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of love. I heard Jake interviewing the people from Clark Street Sports, and the rookie class, Burden, Loveland, Monungai, people are buying up those jerseys, so there's just so much excitement. This morning, we just talked to people about, what message they have for the Bears.
I know it's going to be electric, so I'm going to get together with my friends, and we're going to watch, and we're going to watch every quarter for sure.
They're going to get down, Bears down.
You're looking forward to this. What's your plan?
I'm going to sit back and I'm going to eat and I'm going to enjoy the game. Get down, get down.
Well, one of those, that young men there, Tommy, had said to the Bears team, I love you, keep it going, bring it home. And that's really the message today from all of the Bears fans we talked to. You got this. Keep it going. And again, they're going to be peeled to their seats to the very last second of that game. I guarantee it. Back to you in the studio.
We know that we will all be tuned in, and we certainly hope that at the end of the game, even if our hearts are pounding, we're celebrating a win. Thank you, Roseanne. It is an idea that started with a campaign past football, just really about the city. All for the love of the city, the people who love the city. Choose Chicago, launching a podcast now to share that love with all of us. Joni Folletto and Fabiola Sierra with Choose Chicago back with us this morning. We were saying you might need to be on the payroll because we've been calling on you a lot. But to tell us more about it, fabulous, you know, I always love to use that word when you're here. New venture here, the podcast.
Yeah, super exciting.
Yeah.
So we launched it yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So it's called All for the Love of Chicago podcast. And like you mentioned, it grew out of our social media campaign that we launched in the fall. So it's an extension of that and really highlighting the people of Chicago and letting those people tell the stories of Chicago instead of, all too often, everyone else is telling that story.
Yeah. And you know, if people from the outside are telling the story, it may be very different than what we're experiencing right here. You know, there's sometimes when, like, you talk to somebody who's in states away and you say something and they're like, oh, they have beaches there? Yeah, we have beaches here.
They don't know Chicago.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
So what, you know, what does this say about us kind of coming to a point where podcasts might be the place to reach people and speak to them in new ways?
Yeah, I mean, as a podcast listener, I am definitely looking for things to be listening to and like updates. At the core of this podcast, we think the best thing about Chicago is Chicagoans.
Yeah.
So what better way than to like speak on it, honestly. And for locals, we want to give a sense of pride, find a way for them to further connect to the city, but also for visitors, if they're planning to visit and they're a podcast listener, they can listen in. And we keep things pretty topical. You know, this one that we just released yesterday will be over Chicago Restaurant Week, so we do kind of a deeper dive on that.
Yeah.
And make sure that we are highlighting things that they are going to be kind of looking forward to.
Yeah, it's good that you all set a topic, because probably anyone here would just be talking about the Bears right now. So it's like, no, let's talk about something else. And Restaurant Week is super huge. We all love it. And how is the rollout of the topics going to be? Like, and the episodes, how is that going to work?
Yeah, it will be a bi-weekly podcast, and each episode is structured with 3 different sections. So it starts up top with our primary hosts, which is the Choose Chicago CEO, Kristen Reynolds, and our CMO, Lisa Nucci. They're going to go into the deep dish, where they have kind of high-level topics that are really timely. And then the middle segment is kind of our main, like, meat section, which is the We're Loving It, and that is the interview section. So we're talking to notable Chicagoans, change makers, chefs, artists, culture makers, and just talking in depth with them. And then you got to stick around to the end for Fabiola and me. So we're doing the Let's Chicago section. So that's really action-oriented, telling people what to go do and see in those last 2 weeks.
I love that you made a part of this sound a lot like pizza, and then the deep dive into it, what we're dishing on, you know, all of that. I was catching what you were throwing.
Yeah, good.
I think it's going to be wonderful. I hope that everyone is tuning in. And again, we can start listening now. It's already out?
Yes, you can listen anywhere where you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple. You could also watch on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, All for the Love of Chicago. So please subscribe, follow our All for the Love of Chicago social channels for just updates or more content. But yeah, we want to hear from you. Please let us know what you think.
We'll be tuning in. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the new venture. All right, 9:08, everyone. Ooh, take a look outside from our new 2800 camera. It's icy out there. Be careful. We'll talk to you on the opposite side of this break.
math may be off, but I think in about 56 hours and change, this is going to be the scene of thunderous excitement amid the cold and snow, the frozen tundra, as the monsters of the Midway welcome. Who's coming to town, Brian?
The Los Angeles from the West Coast, right? First time since 2011, Bears are in the divisional round.
So next up is Matthew Stafford and those pesky Rams with a trip to the NFC Championship game on the line. Lou dressed up in a vest, looking sharp.
Listen, man, it's playoff weekend. It's playoff weekend. I showed up at the station in gym shoes and a hoodie, and I said, I'm better than that. And I know I've got Brian McCaskey, my man, coming up after this conversation, so I needed to dress for the occasion.
All right, we've been talking a lot about the conditions, you and I, even before here. Yeah. This is, I think, leveling the field. If this game is at SoFi, I think the Rams have got a much bigger advantage, don't you? We're going to be playing in cold, maybe a little bit of snow out there. But a lot of people are reading these stats. Matthew Stafford is 1-9 when the temperature is below 34 degrees. And the thing. But that's a lot of that is when he's with a crappy Lions team. So we can't just say, well, because it's going to be cold, Matthew Stafford won't have it.
No, I get it. And he played well against the Eagles yesterday in Philadelphia, last season in Philadelphia during the playoffs, and they almost knocked off the Eagles, who actually went on to win the Super Bowl. But I do, I know it's the macho thing to say, oh, the weather's not going to affect Matthew Stafford. This guy has put up MVP numbers. Listen, there's 53 guys on the roster for the L.A. Rams. So maybe it doesn't affect Matthew Stafford, but Puka Nacua? Okay, I'm sorry, Hawaii kid, all right?
Yeah.
It's going to be below 0 with the wind chill. It's going to be really cold out there at Soldier Field. So I feel that, yes, weather will be a factor. Yes, all week long, the Rams have been practicing in L.A. where it's been 82 degrees. Last week, they played in Carolina where it was 70+ and people were golfing. And the Bears have been practicing at Hallis Hall this week. And again, kudos to Ben Johnson and his staff. He said, no heaters on the sidelines during practice. Get used to it because we're looking for whatever advantage we can get against this Rams team that is the most explosive offense in football.
One of the reasons they're so explosive, that tandem at receiver. You mentioned Nacua. They also got Devontae Adams.
Who's played in weather like
yes,
this?
Right.
From his days in Green Bay. How does our secondary match up against those two?
That's tough. I mean, nobody's secondary matched up with the Rams wide receivers. It's not just the Bears. All right, but Kyler Gordon is back. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is back. You've got Jaquan Brisker back there. You've got Kevin Byard, an all-pro. So you have all your bodies in the secondary. And tip of the cap to defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, who last week at halftime said, okay, what we're doing in the first 2 quarters has not worked. This is what we need to do, or we're going to lose this football game. And they blitzed twice as much against Jordan Love, who was terrific against the blitz in the regular season against the Bears. And the Bears came at him and confused him. And if you look back at the highlights, watch Love, because he wasn't rolling out of the pocket because the Bears wouldn't let him roll out of the pocket when they put pressure on him. He was backing up in the pocket and throwing off the back of his feet. So he was not the effective quarterback that we had seen during the regular season. Could that potentially happen with Matthew Stafford? Maybe. But I agree. Stafford has seen everything in his career. 17 years, thrown for over 64,000 yards. Wow. The front runner to be the MVP in the NFL. He's a different beast. He is going to be tough.
All right, I think a lot of fans would like to see the Bears get back to a running game, get Swift and Monangai going downhill. Is that one way that we can beat this team?
100%.
Keep that other offense off the field?
Football field. And the Bears have not run the football effectively, okay, the last couple of games. Part of the reason is they're playing from behind. When you're playing from behind, you need to throw the football. And what did Ben Johnson say this week that I felt was incredibly interesting? He said, listen, my quarterback, once he starts throwing the football, why does he play so well down the stretch when he needs to come through? Because we're throwing the football and he gets into a rhythm. Now, hopefully he can get into a rhythm in the first half and we don't have to, for old guys like myself, go through heart failure watching these games. But if that's what it takes, dude, I'm a Bears fan. I'm with it. And can I just say this, because I want to make sure I have enough time to tip my cap to the Bears fans. And I'm one of you, okay? I was out there tailgating in between shows last week because I wanted to be part of the excitement. There it is. Look at that. You talk to anyone that was out there, Joniak, Thayer, Al Michaels, that place was bananas last week. And I've been, okay, in that 85 season, I was at the NFC Championship. I'm going to talk to Brian about it.
Yeah.
All right. But to hear guys like Joniak, Thayer, who played, and to hear them say that crowd last week was as loud as he's ever heard it at Soldier Field, you got to bring it again on Sunday. You are truly the 12th man. The 12th man doesn't exist in Seattle anymore, because that's what they used to say about the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it exists at Soldier Field.
And hopefully it exists with a win. Calling for a win on Sunday?
What do you mean, hopefully? It is going to be a Bears win. And I don't care that the Bears have lost 9 in a row on Sunday Night Football. Times are changing.
All right.
Good stuff.
Am I fired up or what?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
At least.
Just a little bit,
Let's
right?
go.
All right, well, Fox Chicago is here.
I want to hit someone.
For your coverage of the Bears.
Don't hit
There's still
me.
time.
I did with Richard Dent yesterday.
Make sure you join us for Bears Game Day Live. Special time this week, 12:30. Then after the game, you can come back here to Fox Chicago to hear from Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the locker room after a Bears win over the Rams.
Long day for this guy right here. Lou Canellis will be having it all for you. We've also got more of your Orange Friday pictures to share ahead of the big game, like these. Caleb Williams and Dog, right there. We'll be right back.
Your go-to.
Live look, Soldier Field, that is the spot. Sunday night, Bears-Rams divisional playoff. The place will be rocking. It may come down on its own, thanks to Bears fans, if we have another finish like we did against the Packers last Saturday. Bears and Rams have a rare but meaningful postseason history over the course of 7 decades. First playoff meeting was back in 1950. Yeah, back in the 50s. And things have changed a lot leading up to this matchup come Sunday. And here to tell us a little about the history between the two teams is the vice president of the Bears, Brian McCaskey. All right, Brian, thanks so much for joining us. Good to see you. And I'll tell you what, first, before we get into the history of the two teams and the game itself, give us an idea of just what this season has been like. A year that has exceeded almost everyone's expectations, but I know you, like me, always go into a year hoping for a Super Bowl, right? But still, it's been unbelievable, right?
It's been a lot of fun and a pleasant surprise, no doubt. It's been a magical year. You know, it's such a pleasant distraction for, I think, everybody and everyday fans. So many people are pumped up and excited to talk about the team, and no matter where you are, if you're in the grocery line or pumping gas or you're in a meeting or whatever, everybody wants to talk about the Bears.
It's amazing. Last Saturday night against the Packers, Brian, one of those moments in life that you're going to look back on and remember where you were when the Bears came back from down 21-3 to finally beat the Packers. I know you were at Soldier Field, but what I don't know is, where was your heart rate down the stretch?
You know, actually, I kind of follow my heart rate, and it was pounding pretty hard, like everybody else. I was trying to do the math over 43 years of being with the team, how many games that I've actually watched or been a part of as an athletic trainer back in the day, and I calculated it was somewhere north of 800, and I tell people over and over, because my phone just blew up at the end of that game, and every text I texted back, this is probably one of the most special games that I've ever been a part of. The Super Bowl was special, but it was a pretty foregone conclusion that we were going to win that game early on, and then to see, how we came back against the Packers, and that's the game I was really nervous about, and it was very, very special.
Yeah, special for all us Bears fans. We finally got rid of the boogeyman. What makes the Bears-Rams playoff matchup historically significant?
Well, you may have mentioned earlier, we played them first in a playoff game in 1950, and then years later, of course, in January of '86, and now, of course, this Sunday. So it's only the third time. And what I realized about that when I was doing a little bit of homework, it's, same as with the Packers. We've only played them 3 times in the playoffs. And fortunately, we came out on top 2 of those 3. And with the Rams, we've split. In 1950, we lost. And, of course, in 1986, January of '86 in the '85 season, we obviously won that one. But hoping for good things this Sunday. It's exciting. The town's excited. The organization's excited. The players, coaches are excited. So hopefully good things will happen.
Yeah, let's talk about '86 for a second, because I was there. I've been a season ticket holder since the late '60s. My godfather left his season tickets. He had them at Wrigley Field. He left them in his will for me. And I was there as a fan back in 1986. And I will never forget, Brian, watching Wilber Marshall pick up the fumble, race 52 yards for a touchdown. Snow is coming down on all of us. I'm standing in those seats. One of the greatest highlights of my life. What do you remember about that day in that game?
I would say first and foremost how cold it was. It was unbelievably cold, and like you and millions of other people, I remember how the game ended with Wilber Marshall and the snow coming down, and it was just fantastic. And the fans were so loud. The place was rocking.
Place was rocking, man, and it came off of Sean Landeta whiffing and the Bears beating the Giants to get to that NFC Championship game. Tell us about the role history plays and how the Bears approach postseason football today.
I think with the 2 largest markets, and that's part of why we're playing at 5:30 on Sundays. So the fact that we've only played 3 times, and Los Angeles, the 2nd largest market, the Bears, Chicago, the 3rd largest market, I think we're going to see some incredible numbers for this weekend's game. And I just think, the fact that we've only played 3 times is pretty special.
It sure is. I've told friends and viewers, I really believe your mother, Virginia, the beloved matriarch of the Bears, and my condolences again to you and the family. And I truly believe Mom, alongside Steve Mongo McMichael, who we also lost this year, they have been watching over this team all season long. How else can you explain these comebacks?
Well, you remember the snow in January of '86 when we played the Rams, and at the very end of the game, there was a little bit of snow. I don't know if people were celebrating so much that nobody talked about it, but there was a little sprinkling of snow right as the game ended, and I thought that was a little sign from heaven that Steve and my mom are watching over us. So I thought that was pretty special.
Do me a favor. I want you to have the best time on Sunday. We're all pulling for the Bears, obviously. We're all excited. The Bears have brought us such great joy this season through these tough times for us, just living life. So enjoy the day. And Brian, as always, thanks for the time. I know you're busy these days.
Hey, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, but a lot of people at Hallis Hall are working hard, get tickets and parking out to our fans, and it's as Kevin Warren says, these are champagne problems. You know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I can't describe it. It's hard to sleep, and you know, we're going to hopefully keep this thing going.
Yeah, for sure. As I said earlier with Brian and Mike, I wish the game was tonight. I'm ready for football right now. Brian, enjoy the day. We'll see you on Sunday. Fox Chicago, your spot for coverage of the Bears-Rams game. Sunday kicks off with Bears Game Day Live. Special time, 12:30, and then after the game, come back here to Fox Chicago, your home of the Bears. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, plenty of locker room reaction as well. Keep it right here on Fox.
Fox 32.
$9:29, it is Orange Friday. So, yes, we are bearing down completely with this show. Bears fans are fired up, understandably, ahead of Sunday's playoff game against the Rams.
Yes, the playoff version of Orange Friday. We haven't had to do that before, right? Roseanne is live this morning with all the excitement from all the Chicago Bears fans. Roseanne?
That's right. We're just collecting some comments from people all around the city who have just been so excited by this team and cannot wait until Sunday. We didn't talk to anybody going to the game, but we talked to a lot of people, some who were like sort of Bears fans, and now they are just really excited about the team, and then the diehard fans who have followed them all along. A lot of them remembering back to the '85 Bears and feeling very optimistic. So we talked to various people, and we even found a Rams fan. Here's what they all had to say.
Really excited. I've heard it's been a long time since they've won it big, so yeah.
You got to watch to the last second.
I know. I made a mistake. I left at halftime last time. I shouldn't have done that.
Yes, hand to hand. If you're a Chicagoan, you're a Bear fan.
And how do you feel about this Sunday?
I love it. Look at the weather. Bear down weather. You can't get no better than this. This is our weather. Home field advantage wherever we go.
Let's go Rams. Whose house?
Oh, no. But what about this weather? Are they going to...
I don't know that they'll travel well. That's the thing I'm worried about. And in all seriousness, it will be cool even if the Bears do pull it out, even as a huge Rams fan, just for the city.
So I asked Mr. Rams fan, are you a little nervous about going out to watch the game? And he said he's hosting a party, friendly rivalry. He lives here in the city, so he's going to be surrounded by Bears fans. But everybody looking forward to the game. Even he said, honestly, if they won, he said, I live in Chicago. It would be great for the city. So there you go. People really looking forward to Sunday and cheering on our Bears. Back to you guys in the studio.
I like the Mercedes behind you there, Roseanne, where somebody, carved in the Go Bears in the snow on the windshield. All right, we have a beautiful view there of Soldier Field. There you go. Look at that. I like that. I like that. Please don't, whoever owns that car, don't sue whoever did that. It was maybe the owner did that, him or herself. All right, you saw Soldier Field, a little bit of snow on the ground there, and there may be a little snow falling on Sunday night for that game. It will certainly be cold and breezy. About an hour and a half ago, took a shot of the city from this vantage point, Shedd Aquarium. You could not see the city. So now you know the snow is letting up over the city. We're not quite done with it. Still snowing lightly at O'Hare. It's 28 degrees there. Southwest winds at 15, producing a wind chill of 17. But the temperatures are going to keep rising here. We've got 31 at Morris, Joliet. Look, it's freezing on the nose at LaSalle, Peru. Mainly upper 20s, including 28 at Gary. But I think all of us will get in the mid-30s today, which will do a couple of things. It'll promote melting of the snow that's fallen. It's also going to make the salt that the crews have put down on the road extremely effective. So I expect the roads to be in really, really good shape. Southwest winds blowing in there at 23 miles an hour. That's a strong gust at Midway, 25 at Valparaiso. It's going to stay rather blustery throughout the day today. But any snow that falls now, because the temperatures are warming up, it's not that fine powdery stuff. It's a little bit wetter, less prone to blowing. Wind chills mainly in the teens, not quite so bad at Joliet. Definitely, hat and gloves are going to be your friend. Visibility tells us how hard it's snowing. The heaviest snow showing up parts of northwest Indiana right now. The visibilities are coming up to the west, and that is a signal that the heaviest snow is exiting stage right. Still a couple of pockets, a 15-minute burst of heavier snow here, sneaking through McHenry and northern Kane County. Another one there right over the Tri-State and Lake County. And then things are really going to settle down here by noon. 35 for the high today. About an inch or so, most areas, a few spots, maybe an inch and a half to 2. Some spots only a half inch. That's why I'm going an inch or so. Southwest winds 12 to 22. Tonight gets cold, down to 15. Any evening snow is going to end without much fanfare, but you may see a burst of snow, kind of like what we have out there right now, where it snows for 10 minutes and stops. 20 tomorrow. Few flurries or a light snow shower here or there. But I'm getting a little bit more interested in the possibility of a light accumulating snow on Sunday afternoon and evening. It will certainly be cold. Temperature 20 for the high, with temperatures dropping into the single digits late at night. 12 for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Temperatures moderate middle and end of next week. One photo I want to share with you, and it is our sweet dog Reagan out there in the light snow. She's been going through some health issues, but she's still loving it out there. That is her favorite Frisbee to play with, and just wanted to show you there a happy German Shepherd dog.
Oh, love. Friend of the show. Right? Chicago Bears are all about uplifting the community, and this morning they're honoring Friends of the Children Chicago with a massive grant. Here to tell us all about it are the directors. Tal and family, you're clearly very happy about this grant. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
For our viewers at home who may not be familiar, exactly what does Friends of the Children of Chicago do?
Right, so Friends of the Children is a mentoring organization, but I'd say it's a mentoring organization on steroids. So we intentionally identify the kindergartners born into the most challenging circumstances. Families can't sign up for our program. We do outreach. We start working with children when they're in kindergarten, and then we make a 12-and-a-half-year, no matter what, commitment to staying by children's side. There's nothing a child or family can do to ever be kicked out of our program. We don't work with volunteer mentors. It's our full-time salaried trained staff are the professional mentors, and we have great long-term outcomes.
Speak to me about some of those outcomes. What have you seen from, I guess, the kids? They're starting so young. You're literally with them almost half of their lives.
Right, so all children start with us in kindergarten. We're part of a national network that started in Portland, Oregon 30 years ago. 92% of the kids that go through our program go on to enroll in post-secondary education, enlist in the military, or enter full-time employment. You want to talk a little bit about our annual outcomes?
So for our annual outcomes with our children in our program now, the oldest children in our program are eighth graders, so those are national statistics for the outcomes. But our oldest children are eighth graders because we started in Chicago in 2018.
Wow.
So we have different programs. So they start in kindergarten. Kindergarten to fifth grade is our foundations. So it's more one-on-one mentoring, more intentional mentoring with our kids, exposing them to different things, being consistent. And then the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is our new program, our Empower program. So that program is geared to more peer-based mentoring. They still have their one-on-one mentor, but they also engage in different activities with each other, with their peers, supporting each other and building community within our program.
And you guys just got a very big grant from the Chicago Bears, $106,000. What exactly would that money go towards?
So it's going to help us bring on our new cohort of 24 kindergartners that we're starting to enroll right now. We currently serve 128 children, so we'll be serving 152 children thanks to the Chicago Bears.
What was that feeling like when you found out that the Bears, of all teams here in Chicago, are honoring you guys?
Well, let me just start the story because this is such a good story. So I got an email that we were invited for an interview. On a Wednesday, I got the interview. On Friday, we were supposed to go in for the interview, and I was flying out of town. So I was like, Fallon, you and your team have got to go take this interview. So
yeah, she told us about it, and we were on the way. It was myself, one of my program managers, and our operations director. We're in the car, and we're like, what questions are they going to ask? What are we going to do? What are we going to say? So we get there, and we're in the room. We're sitting there looking around. Nobody's coming in. They're like, they're coming. And we're sitting there. Then we see Jonathan walk past. And then I'm like, well, they're Jonathan Owens. So he walked past. I'm like, oh, well, they're practicing, I'm sure. So then he comes in, and he starts talking to us. And then all of a sudden, he just stops, and he's just like, you guys won the award. And I was totally blown back. You can see the video when they showed it. We were surprised.
Oh, I think this is him presenting the check.
Had no idea that we won. So it was really a shock for me and the whole team. We were just so excited to just win and be able to expand our program and continue our work.
And to welcome this new cohort as well.
For sure.
And what an honor to be recognized by them and for them to surprise us. We were able to take one of our kids to the first Packers game that they won, and we're all diehard Bears fans. Yeah, so excited.
Yeah, your organization primarily works with youth on both the city's south and west sides. What kind of challenges have you seen those kids face with, and how is, I guess, this mentorship program helping them navigate some of those challenges?
So there's a few things that make us really unique. So we are going after to identify kindergartners whose parents or caregivers normally aren't seeking out services. And so all of our families have experienced gun violence, and then every other hardship you can think of, from homelessness to functional homelessness to domestic violence to caregivers with substance abuse. And we're all in for our children. We're not like a siloed program that only helps them with one issue, whatever issues are happening in their lives. And the other thing is that the children in our program tend to be very transient because of caregiver instability, because of housing insecurity. And as long as they move within a 25-mile radius, we follow them wherever they go. So it's that long-term, in-depth, no matter what commitment that makes all the difference for our children.
It makes those good outcomes.
Yes.
Congrats for all you do, and looking forward to see what you can do with this new cohort of new kindergartners coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Friendchicago.org. So come visit. Thank you.
All right. Thank you both for your time at Go Bears this weekend. And speaking of that, it is Orange Friday, as we do every Friday. We show you in your best Bears gear. We even got some four-legged friends sporting their Bears gear as well, as we get ready for the divisional round of the playoffs against the Rams this Sunday. We'll be right back here on Good Day Chicago.
Coming up, if you're starting to panic because you don't have a place to watch the game this Sunday, don't worry. Recess has you covered. We're live here in the West Loop where they got the food, they got the drink, and some chances to win pretty killer Bears prizes. We'll tell you all about it. Anita, what do you got going on?
Well, see, you have the food and the drinks. I have the talent over here. The Entertainers, a Chicago duo releasing their third full-length album with an electro R&B vibe. You'll be able to hear some of their music at the Salt Shed next weekend. I love the Salt Shed. It's a perfect venue. But before that, they are stopping by to give us a special preview because, you know, Orange Friday, we got to have some special folks here. And you have Bear Down. Yeah. I love it. Yes, you came dressed for the part. Niall and Via of Drama. Let's just talk about how much Chicago has played a part and what you all give back to the city.
Yeah, we love Chicago. My mom was born and raised here, and it's been an honor to live here for the past 15 years.
Yeah. And what does this album mean to you all?
It means growth. It means vulnerability. It means friendship. You know, and we're excited that we're from Chicago and we're putting this record out. So.
Yeah.
So the Salt Shed got me excited to hear that you all are going to be playing there. What does it give to you all? I mean, I like, you know, how the setup is there, but from a technical standpoint, when you are the talent, what does it do for you all?
It's just very well organized. Everybody there's really nice, and there's a place for everyone. There's enough space for everybody, and I love it. And the sound, the sound is great.
The sound is amazing.
We've traveled to like many different venues, and this is probably one of the most like organized, well put together venues. It sounds great. So
all right, so you've all have experienced some heartbreak in life, some love in life.
Of course.
You spoke to the growth there, but what else do you want listeners to take away from your new music?
Hope.
Hope, yeah. And that it's okay to call your friends and vent to them and talk to them and share your story with them because, you know, it's important to share your life with your friends.
Yeah, it really is, you know. Tell us a little bit about the song that you're going to be performing for us today.
Well, it's called Here With Me, and we started it in 2017 on New Year's Eve, and it's about how time is irrelevant when you're spending it with the people that you love, and it's okay if you're late to the party.
Please tell somebody, for the person in the back, it is okay if you arrive late, but we are on time getting to you all. And Drama, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you.
It's always been now, and we're all counting down, waiting for the sign that it's time to lose your doubts and face your fears, and we'll fight it from the inside out. We'll fight it from the inside out. So don't give me loving that you can't claim, 'cause I'll be the one that's waiting for you when the night calls. And no one's around, and time stops. And I wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, 'cause you're here with me. And I wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, 'cause you're here with me. And if we miss it, I'd rather forgive you now than forget. And if it isn't what we thought it would be, oh no, I'd rather you leave. I'd rather find it alone than in someone's heart that I don't know. And I pray I find you soon, Lord knows I'm running out. So don't give me loving that you can't claim, 'cause I'll be the one that's waiting for you when the night calls. And no one's around, and I wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, 'cause you're here with me. And I wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, 'cause you're here with me. And I wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, 'cause you're here with me. And I wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, wouldn't trade it for a minute, 'cause you're here with me. Lose your doubts and face your fears, and we'll fight it from the lose your doubts and
At Postman.
And not all of us are lucky enough to watch the playoff game between the Rams and Bears at Soldier Field.
And with the cold, some of us may be avoiding going outside, period, on game day.
I mean, staying inside is not a bad option. Luckily for us, Jake has a great watch party to check out. Jake?
That's right, guys. You might be starting to panic with just over 48 hours to the game. Where am I going to watch it? I want to get out of the house. I want to get off the couch. I don't have the money to go to Soldier Field and watch it. But where's a place where the vibe's going to be good, the food's going to be good, and the drinks are going to be flowing? And most importantly, where do they have room for me? Recess West Loop has all of those things covered. We're back here with my man, Jesse Filkins, a beverage director. Jesse, first and foremost, before we talk about any of this, it's important to emphasize you guys have room for people on Sunday, which not a lot of places around the city of Chicago can say.
100%. So we have tables that have filled up with reservations, but we have so much room. We're activating our City Hall side, so it's a first come, first serve basis. Come in there, watch the game. Food's going to be amazing. Drinks are going to be amazing. The vibe is going to be so high.
And you know what's funny is that there's not a bad area, whether you're in this room or you're in City Hall next door, because they are connected. There's not a bad place. 16 televisions in this room alone. In City Hall next door, we were in there in the 7 o'clock hour, 2 different 14-foot screens. So no matter where you're at, you can see the game.
Not a bad seat in the house, whether you're in this room or the other room. From last Saturday, there was a big vibe, big pops, huge. Everybody's cheering on the Bears. Everybody's eating the great food, and everybody's having some drinks.
Now, in addition to just showing the game and having the food and having the drinks, you guys have some cool things going on this Sunday that make it a little bit more special. This is not just a normal Sunday. It's not just a normal Bears game. So you've got some things going on that kind of match the heightened importance of this day.
100%. Divisional round playoff game, Bears versus Rams. We're going to have food specials. We have some recess tailgate specials, pizza and some other items. We have some bucket specials. We're also going to be having some giveaways, right? So we have some jerseys to give away. We have the little spinny wheel. That's always fun to do, just even if you're not even playing. But we do have some fun stuff to give away with that.
Is it just kind of like a show up and, you know, every 20, 30 minutes you guys will kind of be announcing something fun, something cool, just kind of show up, post up, and kind of find out what's happening?
Of course. We also, if you get one of the tailgate specials, automatically entered in to win a jersey, and then we'll have some spins for guests that are at the table, and it's going to be so much fun. Also a DJ playing music in between the commercial breaks, so there's no dull in excitement.
I love that. All right, so really quick, where can people find more information? Like you said, safe to say reservations maybe aren't going to go your way, but just walk in.
Yeah, if you can't get a reservation, walk in. You don't want to be walking around in the cold looking for a seat at the bar or somewhere with space. Right here in Recess and City Hall, we'll have space for you.
Love that. All right, guys, as we get ready to toss it back to you in the studio, I know a lot of people have been talking about this jacket, right? I know a lot of you guys, thank you, sir. I know a lot of these guys back in studio, you want the jacket, but listen, you're not getting it. But you know, I've got some of your names in here, and you know what? Maybe we'll bring that jersey back to you. So let's see.
Keep it going.
All right,
keep it going.
Pull one out. What do we have?
Listen, I don't have so much time. All right, here we go. Jake Hamilton.
You were disqualified.
All right. On that note, if I must, sorry, IFB's breaking up. Can't hear you. So on that note, you guys have a wonderful day.
Yeah,
have a great show. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Man, my luck. I just can't. Yeah. Tell me how that studio's working for you.
Does that jacket come in adult sizes or just kid sizes?
Bye, Jake.
Uh-oh. I love that face. All right, let's set it up. Studio 32. Chicago Now is getting ready to kick off at the top of the hour. Hey, guys.
All of those tickets said Jake Hamilton.
I know. They all said Jake Hamilton. And Kaplan's right. It wasn't an adult side. You know, that's a boy's medium he's wearing.
Right. Yeah.
It's a boy's medium. Yes, exactly.
We're all just jelly, Jake. And you look great in your jacket.
Yeah, I know. I want
your
the
new jacket.
Jam-packed hour for us.
Yes.
We're going to start off. We're going to be joined by Congressman Mike Quigley, perhaps a future mayoral candidate, Mike Quigley, here in Chicago. He's going to be talking to us. He is not happy with the current proposal for the latest Homeland Security Appropriations Bill. He is proposing an amendment to that. We'll run through all of that.
And the Winter Olympics, if it's your favorite thing to watch. I know some people gear up for the Winter Olympics because it's a fun event. Well, we've got a local who is a speed skater, believe it or not, who had an injury, came back from an injury. Her name is Sarah Warren, and she's been chosen to join the U.S. Olympic speed skating team this year. We're going to be chatting with her.
And we have been checking in with a lot of Bears legends this week. We had Richard Dent on yesterday, and Mama Boy Dennis was on yesterday with Mike and the fellas. We're going to check in with Israel Donajee today, another Bears legend, about his thoughts going into the big game Sunday against the Rams. We're back with Chicago Now after this, everybody. Bear down.
Fox 30.